Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be doing Waves Remake from Dilla's Donuts. All you have to really do is just tune, time stretch, chop, and process the sound. And then at one point there's going to be like crossfading. So we'll go over that. If you only tune the sample using like the natural pitching, like a vinyl record sort of thing, the sample is actually going to play back a little too fast. That part that I'm playing right there, that's like, the part that gets played in the intro. And the intro is actually like the clue as to what the speed is. But listen to the bass notes on that compared to that.
Let's go!
So for the time stretching, what I'm going to do is actually tune down the sample to the proper speed and then put the pitch shifting effect on top of that after, just because like I find that it's easier to get the samples at the right speed that way. And then the time stretching algorithm, if you just do it, use those, that can be like a little tricky sometimes. So I just find it easier this way to just slap on the pitch effect after. I was just trying to line up the samples so that if you do a side-by-side comparison, you can see how similar they sound. That's when it's at the right speed.
Let's go!
So after putting the pitch shifting effect, it sounds like this. So let's break down what we're working with. We have these 3 different colored audio clips. The center purple one, that's the Do It, that sample appears like all throughout the song, like only that one part. The other 2 parts, you have to chop up between those 2, like choose different parts based on the kick and the hi-hat and the snare. And when you arrange it, this is one sequence you have. Notice it mixes the parts from the beginning before Do It and after that Do It. And then here's the interesting part about this is that what you're going to do is chop up the sample in a way that you get just only a hi-hat on the snare and nothing after that. And the way that you do that is you take a part from the sample, like right after the kicks, just so you get like enough air, so to speak. And when you combine that chop like after it with the snare, it should give you that hi-hat silence that's in this song. And here's the second pattern, and this is actually like the longest pattern throughout the whole song. All the other patterns are just 1 bar, but this one was 2. This third pattern is the hi-hat shuffle. It's actually the chord extending over the snare chop, and it makes it sound like the sample is sped up, but it's just cut off at after they say the Jay and Johnny, so it sounds like sped up. It's just that they're like halfway through saying Johnny. The next part is just a chop. I think it sounds like there's like a like a scratch over that. And then this last part is actually where the crossfading happens. It's the beginning chords of that second part that I separated, and the beginning chord of the sample. And the clue for that is the background vocal. If you listen to Waves, it sounds like the background vocal is getting cut off, and it fades into those strings, synths. And doing this also cuts out the hi-hats, so you get like a smoother guitar sound, and then no hi-hats for that natural Dilla sequence in this. And that's the duet part that appears all throughout the song. I put a little bit of hi-hats on top of the sample, so you get that let's call it like a Dilla shuffle. That's what it sounds like to me. Something about the hi-hats, they sound like sharp but not like piercing, and I just couldn't get that effect working. So that was like taking me way too long, so that's why I was just like, I'll just focus on the chop for this. And that's how it sounds with the hi-hats. So here's the final result.
Let's go!
I almost forgot to show the effects rack if anyone is actually interested in this, but it's just EQs and compressors. And I actually do have the sample. I have one track in mono and one in stereo because the background vocal was just loud. So by putting the stereo signal like lower than the mono signal, it had the background vocal quieter. And just to close this out, I just thought like some of you would be interested in this, like you donut nerds. I did this remake with the original reference track side by side. I didn't have like each pattern like that exact to the original, but it did have like a consistent phase and sync at 90 BPM. So if you see over here, it goes actually a little bit offbeat when you compare those two side by side. So what I did was I actually had to like chop up the track at that point to just line it back up again, just so I had like an easier way to organize this and like arrange it. Thanks for watching.